Cheers, legends. Sammy from Short and Stout Beer Reviews. Happy Saturday or Friday, wherever you're located. I've got another Verdant beer, courtesy of Phil in Norfolk. This is the last of the Verdants to review. I have had, because he had a couple of beers in the package that there were twos of. I tried this sneakily on the first night, and yeah, it was quite impressive for a low ABV Pilsner. So it's called HOPPY PILS, and it's at 4.8%. And yeah, it was like almost like an IPL. It was really, really hoppy. I just remember being a big fan. Yeah, New Zealand hops. So you've got Nelson Sauvin, Motueka, and Rawaka. It was real punchy. So hopefully it still drinks just as good. I mean, it's only probably 2 weeks since I had it the first time. I've got my hashtag proper glassware. You can tell I've used it a bit now. She's not as immaculate as it was. And cheers to the chats. We have Craig, we have Angie, and we have the other Craig. Good to see you. So yeah, it's a very ordinary weekend here. It's one of those weekends where it's good to stay inside. And we have Keith as well. Good to see you, mate. Yeah, it's like really windy, just raining non-stop, and yeah, cold as. So I'll be just staying inside with the heater on and drinking some fine ales. So let's crack into it. This will be the first of two this morning. This one's just a nice sessionable number to get started. And then the second beer is a rebrew of one of my favourite Aussie IPAs. So I'm hoping it's just as good as it has been over the years. Oh, we've got a boy. Cheers, Paul. Oh, God. Hopefully it's not too bad of a job. Yeah, I thought so. Many beers. Just don't go too hard on the beers. Okay, let's pour her. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this second beer. I just hope it's as good as it has been over the years. When I first got into range, probably 10 years ago, they were just starting to sort of get a bit of a name for themselves. And yeah, Victoria was starting to sort of hear about this awesome new brewery up in Brisbane. And I remember they just busted out a few limited releases. But when Sabro first come out on the scene, yeah, this beer that I'm doing next was one of the first oat creams with Sabro, and it just blew my mind. And I think they've rebrewed it about 3 times since, and yeah, it's just banging. But back to this beer. So yeah, it almost looks like an IPA, this one. Very yellow in appearance. It's actually quite clear, but yeah, there's some chill haze. Light carbonation. I'd say probably a 2-finger head. It looks like it's sort of medium body. Probably a bit bigger of a body than your average like light lager. Yeah, that's about it on appearance. Whiff time. It just smells so bright and like tropical for like the style. It's amazing. So you're getting like huge passion fruit, lemon and lime, orange. Cheers, Juzzy. I'm halfway, or I'm about 3/4 of the way through watching your video, dude. It was awesome. I felt real sorry for that girl when she went to stand up and she'd been sitting for so long, and it's like pulled on the old heartstrings. And then the guy whose dogs went in the pound, he seemed like a genuine bloke. He was just trying to trying to calm the situation, and some other fuckwits come in and messed it up for him. Maybe a touch of apricot. Very like biscuity base, slightly grainy. It packs so much punch for like a pilsner. It's amazing. It's got the hop character of like a IPA. That's why I reckon it's almost like an IPA. Yeah, for sure, dude. I sort of got a little bit like I was like, oh, she didn't look like she was very like how old would she have been? Because when she was sort of sitting side on, there was someone sort of sitting in front of her and he couldn't quite see her properly. And side on, she looked fairly young. But then when you sort of looked at her hands and that, her hands looked like she was like elderly. Here we go. Old mate's behind me making noise. Did I say pineapple with this? Definitely have some pineapple as well. Yeah. You know it, brother. Where were you again, Craig? You were like was it Northern Beaches or somewhere up there, north of Sydney? From what I remember, I think you said you were originally UK and now you're in Sydney. Is that right? Angus. For those of you that don't know, my dog sits behind me and scratches and itches and moves around. It drives me nuts. Hell yeah, so she's probably like similar age to like us. Cheers, Evie. Evie, did you have your breakfast? Okay, let's have a sip of this beer and none of this farting around. One thing I realised, like, you know how sometimes like swearing, you feel like it can affect your streams. The two streams I did last night, I was just letting out the profanities, but yeah, it didn't seem to affect them. So I don't know what's going on. YouTube is a very wild place because there's times where I swear and I definitely feel like it affects like the algorithm and like the viewers and stuff because you like the numbers just fluctuate real bad. But yeah, it was pretty constant last night. West, oh yeah, so you're over Penryn, yeah. Yeah, for some reason I was thinking north. I knew you were originally UK though, so Leeds, yeah. So that's the thing. I've got a reasonable. I feel like I've got a pretty good memory. So once I sort of start talking to people, I try and like just remember little key things. What are we up to now? Oh, it's 9 minutes. Fuck yeah. Okay, let's drink. Cheers, guys. You're working today, Juzzy? Grapefruit as well, guys. Definitely some grapefruit. Most of the fruit in it's quite sweet though. You'll get it like a touch of tartness. There's not really too much of that sort of bitter, pithy fruit. Just on the finish though, you get sort of this slight lemon zest and like a grapefruit sort of bitterness. But yeah, lemon and lime's definitely prominent. The Motueka shines. It's just so punchy. Yeah, I'm all about that. If I was in the city, I'd do that for sure. I think that's good. The worst thing is, though, dude, is because that's a march where it's like conservative Australians just fighting for our country. The cops will be real harsh, and like the government will try and shut it down. And but anything to do with like Palestine or fucking LBGT or any of that bullshit, they embrace it and they're like, oh no, let them do their thing. Fuck off. Where is the march tomorrow? Like, where does it sort of start and finish? I know that it's in like most of the capital cities around Australia. It'd be good having a film of it, dude. They're the sort of things like if you film them and you're sort of in the thick of it, it can blow up. And especially too because you're a channel where you're helping out the homeless and stuff. Just speak about the fact that the issues currently are affecting cost of living and it's driving the homelessness up, and yeah, definitely be good for your channel. Short. Has he got short shorts on Evie? Yeah. There'll be the typical lefties there trying to like stop it. You'll get the typical fuckwit college students that have never known an Aboriginal in their life. They'll be there with Aboriginal flags, and it's like you don't know what you're talking about. Now just fuck off. What are you going for, bro? A barley wine? I picked up a wheat wine a few weeks ago. Yes. I've been wanting a wheat wine for ages. Yeah. One thing I always say to these fuckwits when they're complaining about, oh no, it's okay, keep rising the immigration. They need somewhere to live. They're fighting in war-torn countries when like fucking 95% of them aren't. And it's like, oh, okay then. Well, if we're going to keep bringing them in, do you want to have like a couple of families stay with you or live in the house next door to you? Oh no, I don't want that. Yeah, well, fuck up then. Go back to your mum's basement in fucking Brighton, you stupid bitch. Straub's Amber Work Crusher. Oh yeah, cool. Where's Straub's from? Is that local? And yeah, for those of you that don't know, Verdant are from Cornwall, which is down in the southwest of England. One thing that's cool too, I didn't even know, but one of my new workmates is originally English. I started chatting to him, and then I'm like, I detect a slight accent. I'm like, oh, whereabouts are you originally from? And he's like, oh, Hartlepool, I think it's called. It's near Blackpool, I think. I think he said north. He was talking about like Middlesbrough and those sort of places. So, but yeah, he said he's been in Australia since he was a kid, but he's still got the accent. So yeah, it's always cool just talking to people about where they grew up. And yeah, dude. So Bad Shepherd are based in Cheltenham, which is like an industrial area, sort of southeast of Melbourne. They're It's a Canadian guy that owns it. So he does a lot of sort of adjunct stuff like peanut butter and jelly and maple syrup and all that sort of stuff. That one you're talking about, it's not too bad. It's nothing special. But when they do like more limited release stuff, get on that. Because that one that you're talking about, it's sort of like it's pretty basic. You do get the flavors, but it's not like all up in your face. You're better to wait, and they'll do like limited release stuff, and it's a bit more expensive, but like a lot more flavor. I mean, give it a go. You might like because you mightn't have had that many of those styles. It might actually be more punchy to you, but just when I've had it, it's a bit lacking. Give it a go. It's probably not too bad of a price, even if you just get. I always find with beers like that, if you can just get one of them just to try it. That's where it's good when you go to bottle shops or like superstores, and they'll have like a buy six craft singles and get 15% off, because it's a good way to try a few different beers, and then you get a feel for what breweries and what styles you like. That's what I first started doing when I got into craft. Anyway, I'd just try as many different sort of beers as I could, and then you start to sort of get a feel for what your palate's like. Cheers, Cobber. How are you, Drewy? Good to see you, dude. Yeah. If you're a troublemaker from conservative side and you go and try and mess up a rally to do with like any of the woke issues, you'll be fucking locked up. But if you do it at something like against the government, they'll like, yeah, the government's the one that's probably paying for it. Monkey hangers. I will. If I remember, I'll leave this up on the screen for a bit so then I can go back and see it. And hit the old like button if you can, peeps. I'm so keen for this next beer. I can't wait. You know when something's generally good and you're like amped for it but slightly nervous that it's not going to be the same. Yeah, that's always the case. You'll get some other protesters trying to take the attention away. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's early for me, but if there had been a UK stream on today, I probably would have joined it. But no one was doing anything. Yeah. So yeah, I just was hanging with the dogs for a bit in the backyard, but it was pretty shit out there because of the weather. And then yeah, I had an energy drink of all things. There was one sitting in the fridge, and I was like, "Oh, I'll drink that now." And then yeah, I had a shower, and then I was like, I'm going to do a couple of beer reviews. Isn't there a fine now? Oh no, that's America. If you caught burning the flag now in America, it's like I think you go. I think it's like a prison offence. Pretty sure it was just brought like Donald Trump's just trying to bring it in there. Yeah, see, when they used to talk about changing the Aussie flag back in the day, as a kid that was sort of ignorant to a lot of issues and topics and whatever, I was just like, I didn't care. I'm just like, do whatever. But now that I know about, I don't know, a lot of things, and most of the people that have hatred towards it are people with completely different political beliefs than me. It's like, nah, I want to keep it. Fuck yes. Let's keep the flag as is and embrace your pride for the country. It's so ridiculous, like on Australia Day, how you can be walking in the city with Australian gear on, like your own country's flag, and people are like spitting at you and hurling insults and that. Like, yeah, they'll get a slap. What did the five fingers say to the face? Slap. Let's pour some more, shall we? I don't know if I thanked him, but another thank you to Phil in Norfolk for his generosity with the box he sent over. So yeah, there's only 2 beers left of it now. It's the Black Sheep Milk Stout and the Abbott's. So Abbott's Ale or Abbott's Reserve or something like that. So Abbott's, I think I'm going to review with Disco, and the Black Sheep, I think I'm reviewing with Adam. Cheers, Thumpaholic. Good to see you. It's like eerily quiet in my neighbourhood. I think because it's just shit weather, everyone's like rugged up inside and not doing anything. What's on for your weekend, Thump? Quiet one here, just staying in there out of the cold, and drinking some beers. I'll probably do a few reviews today, I reckon. Couple this morning, maybe a few later tonight. If I do a hangout though, I've got to go get some smashes. Because yeah, all the beers I've got in my fridge are like review worthy, so I don't want to just sit there drinking them. Like I want to be able to drink something else that I don't have to think about. I was talking about last night. I wouldn't mind getting a bottle of bourbon or something. Just mix it up. Yep. Oh yeah, the old Devil's Cut. That's a Jim Beam, isn't it? Yep. I want to try Gentleman Jack again. I also want to try Turkey 101 and Rare Breed and a few of them. Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, that's the way to go. Get a bit of both. Yep. Yeah, it's pretty average, isn't it, Evie? When people are starting to boo it, you know they're pissed off. They're over that shit. Like I'm friends with Aboriginals, and most just want Australia to keep going as it was like 20 years ago. But no, these fuckwit college students that think they know them and they don't want to fight for them and they want this, they want that. No, they don't. You don't know any, so shut the fuck up. Probably getting paid by the government to call out what the Aboriginals want, and it's nothing. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, boy. One place would be cool to go to, Juzz, would be Stomping Ground. I definitely got to take you to a few breweries in Melbourne. We need to go to Rocky Ridge, I reckon. Or we could go to Foreigner. We could do a little Brunswick crawl. There's probably like a brewery out your way that we don't even really know about. I know there's a few in the sort of northeast suburbs that I don't really know much about. Yeah, the festival, I'm going to a beer festival next Saturday and it starts real early in the morning. Yeah, that's in Footscray. Footscray and Brunswick. Yeah. It's funny though, like how many people live in Melbourne and I'll be like showing them around certain places. I mean, your knowledge of the suburbs and that's pretty good, but yeah, I'm just showing you around the beer scene. But a lot of people out there, it's like I know particular areas of Melbourne more than they do, and they've lived there all their life. I always find it odd how a lot of people that live in cities just stick to their area and they don't sort of get around. Like if I lived in Melbourne, I'd be always like checking out different areas of Melbourne, and I think it's just because I'm from the country, so I'm used to having to travel long distances to check shit out. Finish this one up soon, give a score, and let's get on to the next. Is there there'd have to be, surely. Surely there'd be whiskies with spice in there. You'd have to think, though, it would be a cheaper whiskey because there'd be too much risk involved with like a decent like single malt adding like chili to it and not selling it. There's plenty of beers with chili in it. I had a beer once that had a heap of chili. I think it was a collaboration anyway with a hot sauce. So the hot sauce and the beer had the same sort of fruity flavour and spice. I'm pretty sure it was habanero. And anyway, I had both. I think I had the hot sauce on some pizza and I had the beer. And then I remember the next morning it was it was burning at both ends. I mean, burning out the old ring, most people have experienced that. Like, it's just part of having spicy food and that. But when it's burning out the tip, because it's more of a liquid than a solid, it's a little uncomfortable. Yeah. Fireball. Oh, the old cinnamon. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've always wanted to do a Carolina Reaper, just the whole fresh on the channel, but I want some other people to do it with me. I was even thinking about maybe doing some chili videos, just work our way up, just have a couple of people on a panel. Start off with like, I don't know, like just something real basic, like a jalapeno, and then move on to like a habanero, and then go bird's eye, and like just get further along the sort of heat scale. Finish up with the Reaper. Brunswick and Footscray. Frankie Kozo. You know it. Hit the old thumbs up. Yeah. Cool. So the longer you're sort of sitting on it, as it like warms and gets a bit of air to it, it gets like sort of drier and more bitter. You sort of, the sweetness sort of fades out a bit, and you get more of that sort of green character and dryness. But yeah, very solid, very good Pilsner. And I love the fact that it's so hoppy. It's cool. Yeah, when you initially like smell it and have those first couple of sips, very bright. Score for this, I'd probably say go like a 4.1 out of 5. It's pretty good. You could smash a heap of them anyway. So yeah, cheers again to Phil. Thanks for the Verdant beers and the Verdant glass. So we're done with Verdant now. Yeah, next up will be those other two beers that I said I might review with Mersey Beers and Disco from Rasco and Disco. Oh, yawning. It's bedtime. So yeah, come check us out. Do this bad boy. Very excited for it. So Range Brewing's Yo-Yo Enthusiast. Awesome name, I reckon. Good old yo-yos. They were the jam back in the 80s. Yeah, and as I said, it's one of my favourite Aussie beers. It's only brewed every... First time it was brewed would have been probably third year into Range's existence, maybe second year. And then I think they've brewed it every probably 2 years or so since then. So I think it's only been brewed about 4 times. So yeah, come check us out, drink that, and hopefully give it a good score. Thanks for chiming into this one. As I said, if you can hit the like button, that would be very appreciated. And yeah, we'll see you again soon. Cheers, legends.